Dance and cheer squads, youth sports, nonprofits, and local businesses. The parade will roll, dance, and march through downtown Asheville Saturday, November 20th, beginning at 11 a.m. For more Asheville Holiday Parade information, visit ashevilledowntown.org.
Cheerwine is Southern cherry goodness. Try an ice cold Cheerwine today.
How's this for a holiday gift idea? Get yourself or a loved one the smile you or they deserve. For a limited time, Asheville Smiles is offering Zoom whitening at a reduced price of $299. The retail value of this in-office professional teeth whitening service is $600. So that is a 50% discount. Don't have a grinchy smile this holiday. Save big and think Asheville Smiles when treating yourself or a loved one this holiday season.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville. WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville.
The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
This is SportsCenter.
Christine Lisi at this hour. Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson cleared to play Sunday against the Packers. He was cleared by the doctors who performed surgery on his right middle finger last month. Seattle's gone 1-2 without Wilson. Former Browns receiver Odell Beckham Jr. on waivers today. The deadline for him to be claimed is 4 Eastern tomorrow. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Beckham wants to spend the rest of the season with a playoff contender and in a winning environment where he believes he'll be happy and productive. He needs a certain offensive coordinator for that, according to our Keyshawn Johnson.
OBJ, much like Dan said, it's not really about OBJ. OBJ is like a me. You fit him, you go to a team that a guy says, that's my dude, I'm putting the ball in his hands no matter what. That's the type of coordinator. Right. That's the type of coordinator OBJ needs.
Keyshawn of Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. NBA sources tell ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski 76ers center Joel Embiid tested positive for COVID-19 today. He's out a minimum of 10 days, meaning he'll miss at least 5 games, could potentially be able to return late next week. Celtics guard Jaylen Brown with a hamstring strain sidelined the next 1 to 2 weeks. College football, Washington coach Jimmy Lake suspended 1 game for a sideline incident with one of his players during the Oregon loss on Saturday.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword GRAND to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's GRAND to 200-200.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And, of course, the Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And, yes, we are live on YouTube as well. Go over and check out the stream. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Join the live stream, hit the subscribe button. We found a new feature today as well. So you can also, on the stream, you can subscribe to the channel, and then you can become a part of the House of Reprehensibles, which is like joining our little community. But then on top of that, you can also pay to highlight your comments in the chat. And we're all for
chat.
it.
And Armchair Commentary, our Canada friend, has done that, and it is now posted. And it is posted on the stream making fun of you, which that
You're
hurts
a big
nothing.
fan of.
I am a big fan of that. After this morning with your little victory lap, because now I have to eat a mud bug or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. How about them Green Bay Packers covering the spread?
They didn't mean to.
Against the Kansas City Chiefs.
That was 100%, no doubt, accidental because Jordan Love is bad at football.
He is that, but I'm right. You're wrong. Nana nana boo boo, go eat a mud bug.
And apparently I'm going to.
Yep. Tuesday's last call, our little extra session for subscribers only on the YouTube stream. We will pay off the torture ticket this week which Jeremy took the Kansas City Chiefs to cover by a touchdown.
And they did. The only thing that changed here is the stupid.
Wait.
How in the world do you score?
Oh, wait.
I don't think Jordan Love could have scored on a series of college teams, and yet he found a way to score on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Stupid Chiefs. Now I have to eat some disgusting crawfish.
Crawfish. It's just crawfish. I don't understand this. Like, you have this aversion to crawfish, and they're delicious.
No, they're not good. Okay, they're not. They're bad. They're bad, but bad.
I kind of like the Carolina Panthers. Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't know that they're that bad, but bad.
Wow.
Because Carolina is. Oh boy, buddy!
Wow, and there are problems with the Carolina Panthers, and it appears that Sam Darnold he's not really getting that vote of confidence from Matt Rule anymore.
Well, you're just stuck. I mean, this is what happens when you get into that quarterback carousel. Mm-hmm. Because right now in the NFL, you've got about 10 teams that have the guy. Mm-hmm. Then you got about 10 more that have a guy. He's fine. He's not going to lose you games. Won't win you many.
Right.
And then you have about 12 teams in the NFL that are just deficient at quarterback. Mm-hmm. And every week that puts you behind the 8 ball. And that's what Carolina's finding out.
Yep. There is no more hiding it. There is no more parsing words. There's no more of that for Sam Darnold.
Well, I mean, in the bad, I was completely wrong on Darnold. And whether or not Adam Gase broke him or this is who he is, I do not know.
I think this is who he is. I really do. I mean, what did I tell you? After the first 3 weeks of the season, well, I guess it was after the 4th week of the season when they lost, starting out 3-0, they lose that 4th week. We start seeing the interceptions come from Sam Darnold, and I told you, like, I'm going to want to see him turn this around. I don't want to see him get into some kind of a funk where here come the interceptions week after week after week. And guess what? He hasn't done it. And now there's no turning back. Now you've got Carolina Panthers fans out there just screaming to the high heavens of where's Cam Newton to come and save the day for us.
Stop that. Here's the thing. The thing about Darnold is that he still has talent. There's no doubt about that. The problem is, behind that offensive line, I don't think any quarterback would look all that good. No. And I'm not trying to defend Sam. He had 2 of the worst interceptions you'll ever see in your life yesterday. One of them was a bad throw, throwing off balance, but it still should be an easy throw.
Right.
The other one was just a terrible decision in the red zone. Mm-hmm. And so you look at these things. I thought Christian McCaffrey coming back would mitigate some of this, and it didn't. I could argue yesterday was the worst game he's had.
Yeah.
And so if you're Carolina, the question is, now what do you do? And I've heard a lot of, we should turn to P.J. Walker. Well, that's not a solution.
No, it's not. In the last 5 games, Sam Darnold has thrown 2 touchdown passes and 8 interceptions. It's only getting worse. Yes, we will talk about the Mac Jones thing as well coming up on the program. College football, we'll cover the wacky weekend, of course, all over the place in the NFL. Who you trusting now? Who you trusting now in the NFL? After just yesterday was so crazy with the Buffalo Bills losing to the Jaguars and on and on and on. The Broncos over the Cowboys. It was absolutely topsy-turvy week in the NFL. First hour of the program, by the way, brought to you by Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings. Don't forget you can get tickets for the Asheville Championship. The inaugural Asheville Championship coming up later on this week. We'll be broadcasting live from the Harris-Cherokee Center, Asheville, on Friday as we get ready for the first session of games in the Asheville Championship. Tickets are available now at all Ingles stores.
And we will be there live on Friday.
Yeah, that's
we
what
will
I
be doing
said.
this here show from the Asheville Championship.
Uh-huh. Yes, indeed we will.
It's the first time we've done a live show in 2 years.
Yeah, since the SoCon tournament.
Yeah, this is the first time they've let us out of the building. They're giving us toys and stuff to go do this out in the masses.
Yeah, since the SoCon tournament of 2 years ago. So it's going to be a lot of fun on Friday. Anyhow, and of course, Greene on Green picks coming up at the end of this hour.
We also have a new shirt design in our merch store. You'll have to go to the online. It is now showing on the online feed. I am very Very proud of this.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
Why are you making fun of this? He lied to all of us.
Well, here's the thing. Because I'm a comedian and that's what I do. And so I will be doing this going forward. Well, we have got a new merchandise partner that is fantastic, and they will send things directly to your house. Mm-hmm. So you can see that on the YouTube feed or on our Facebook at the Sportsocracy.
Yeah, it's Dr. Aaron's homeopathic clinic. Just ask us about the Rodgers rate.
Ask us for the Rodgers rate.
That's a great logo. You did bang up work there, Jim.
Well, here's the thing. I got to a certain level of nerd. I got to that level of nerd that usually doesn't pay you that well. So got to use it where I can.
Speaking of, we've got an I'm Mad coming up at the end of the program as Jeremy's gonna go off on the. Can I use a buzzword? The woke mob.
Yeah,
coming after Aaron Rodgers.
I promise to not get as angry as I did this morning. If you want to see that, go to our YouTube channel. The Overreaction Monday was aggressive this morning.
Oh, yeah. Anyhow, back to the Carolina Panthers here. Sam Darnold, like I said, 5 weeks, 2 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. It's been absolutely terrible. And just reading an article on the Charlotte Observer this morning by one Scott Fowler. I really like his work. He does a fine job covering the Carolina Panthers. And he was saying, not only for the Carolina Panthers' good, but for the good of Sam Darnold, maybe we should start P.J. Walker, at least for a week, maybe a month. We'll just see how it goes. Because at this point, what's it going to hurt?
Well, you can't. If you think he's bad now, put the doubt in him.
Yeah.
That's why I got so angry about Robbie Anderson. Mm-hmm. First of all, Robbie Anderson, of all people that should be calling out anybody, you are somewhere behind the mascot and in front of the guy that sells hot dogs in section 127.
Yeah, what's that bear doing wearing a jersey?
I mean, of all people to get angry, you have been abhorrently bad. Mm-hmm. But if you're a Panther fan, it's not Sam Darnold you should be angry at. It's the front office that has put you in this situation. This offensive line is a disaster.
Terrible.
And now Matt Paredes is gone. You think it was bad before? Just wait. Now you're missing the signal caller.
Yep.
That's the vet that was making sure everything went swimmingly. Well, now he's gone.
Yep.
Tore his ACL yesterday.
And Cam Irving has a calf issue that's going to keep him out probably for a couple of weeks, I'm hearing. And other than Taylor Moton, you got really nothing to be proud of on this offensive line.
No, it's not good. And this team's not balanced. Christian McCaffrey was fine. He was nothing to write home about. Mm-hmm. It was very obvious that this was his first game back. But at the end of the day, you just don't. You've got playmakers that are not playing up to their potential, and you've got Sam Darnold that's just been bad.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's just been bad.
If you're Matt Rule, though, and if you're this medical staff, do you not keep him out? He's having an MRI today on the shoulder.
Because it's not an injury problem. It's a he's bad problem.
Yeah, but can't you blame it on the injury?
No.
Just to give him some time?
Has he been hurt for 4 years? Because this is the guy he's been. We've all been projecting talent. Well, at some point, you have to stop.
Right.
Now you're 4 years into the league. The problem for Carolina is that you're 3 draft picks invested in this guy. What else are you going to do? Mm-hmm. I mean, you're stuck with him for the rest of the year, certainly.
And you're stuck with him for next year, too. You already picked up the option.
Yeah. You are. You are.
Yeah.
This is the same problem the Indianapolis Colts have. At the end of the day, do they know Carson Wentz is not going to lead them to anything? What else are you going to do? They're invested a 1 and a 2.
Mm-hmm.
You just got away with a 2, a 4, and a 6. By the way, stop trading with Joe Douglas. It just does not seem to go well for the other team. I see, as a proud Jets fan.
We have the Seattle Seahawks top 10
Well,
pick.
here's the thing. If we could actually do anything with those picks, it'd make me a lot happier.
Well, it could be worse. You could be the you could be the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, I saw that coming. If you haven't seen the Damon Arnett video.
Oh, gosh.
Woof.
I finally watched it this morning, and I was like,
"Yep,
there's no hiding that." And Damon Arnett's been let loose by the Las Vegas Raiders, so that's another first-round draft pick that they've had to punt on.
It's not good.
No, it's not good. But the question now becomes, what do you do? what do you do if you're the Carolina Panthers? I mean, you've already now you've realized that Sam Darnold is not the guy, and he can't be the guy. But now you're on the hook for next year. Is there a way to salvage this?
Yeah, there's a way to salvage it.
How?
You draft a high upside quarterback in this draft. I mean, be real honest. Other than the offensive line and the quarterback, you have pretty much everything you need.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is pretty good. It's very young. It's very talented.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm looking at how things shake out with my mock draft. I could see a path that you wind up with Malik Willis. Had a decent enough weekend against Ole Miss. By the way, if you didn't see Ole Miss's Twitter account, buddy.
What happened?
Oh, they trolled Hugh Freeze. If you remember when everything went down with Ole Miss and he got fired, he tweeted out and said, if you have a problem with this decision, and put out the email address for Ole Miss's student administration or something like that.
Okay.
So Ole Miss's Twitter account tweeted, if you have a problem with this result, please send it to, and put the Liberty Athletic Department's email address.
Nice.
It was verbatim the same tweet.
That's great.
They also took a picture of Hugh Freeze in his, coaching from his hospital bed with the thumbs up, and they put the Ole Miss Liberty score in the bottom right-hand corner. And then, of course, Ole Miss had to apologize because that's not.
Oh, gosh. That's not insensitive.
That's not nice. We don't do not nice things.
Stop that. Stop that.
I
mean, if you're going to troll people, if you're
going to troll, be a troll.
Right. Don't apologize for it. Like, well, that looks bad on our program. No, it's really funny. And you know what? If somebody has a problem with it, you should probably email Jeremy Greene.
At Jay Greene ESPN on Twitter. I respond virtually every time.
Yeah. The Carolina Panthers, you know, we had all the hopes in the world for them when they were 3-0 to start out the year. You know, now you're sitting there with 4 wins on the year. There's nothing for you left for the season. I mean, this coming week you get to go to Arizona. That's gonna be fun.
You said gruesome wrong.
Right. And you got some winnable games after that. You got Washington, Miami, Atlanta. Of course, you just lost to Atlanta.
Games. There's no doubt this team has winnable games. And the bad thing is that the bottom of the NFC
they got 3.
Is dreadfully bad.
Mm-hmm. But is 7 wins going to be enough to get you into the playoffs?
No, but 8's going to be close, and 9 probably is. I would say 2 teams in the NFC make the playoffs with 9 wins.
So you got to hope that you pull out a prayer against Arizona. Hope that you can snake one from Buffalo, Tampa, or New Orleans.
Well, that's all you have to do. All they have to do is hold serve against the Washington football team, Miami Dolphins, Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints. Saints are bad. Bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you got to win those 4. You cannot lose another game that you're supposed to win.
Right.
And hope you snake one from the Cardinals, snake one from the Bucks, who probably are not going to have much to play for because they might have this division locked up by the week after Thanksgiving.
Right.
That's really what you need.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, what does it matter?
Right, because you're going to go into the playoffs.
You're going to go to the playoffs and get boat raced.
Exactly.
I mean, if you're looking for something as a Panther fan to cling on to, there are 2 high upside quarterbacks in this draft that you probably will have access to, because I do not see a team taking either one of them in the top 10.
Okay. Who's that?
Malik Willis of Liberty and Jaden Daniels of Arizona State. Jaden Daniels may fall into the 2nd round.
But are those NFL guys?
They can both be NFL quarterbacks.
Can they be long-term NFL starters?
They can both be NFL quarterbacks. They need to not start right away.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing with Carolina is you have to ask yourself the question, is it better for us to just build the offensive line and hope that things work with Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
Or do you spend your money on the offensive line, take what is about the only high-value draft pick you have, get the young guy at quarterback, bring him along, and ultimately hope that 2 years from now he's the guy?
Yeah.
Carolina is in purgatory.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I have said forever. This is where you don't want to be. They took the shot. Well, now you have to deal with the shot that you took.
Mm-hmm.
Because P.J. Walker's not better than Sam Darnold. I don't care how much anybody hates Darnold or doesn't like how he's played or anything like that. If you can look me dead in the face and tell me you think P.J. Walker gives them a better chance to succeed, I'm going to need you to explain it in 500 words or more. Because you are not going to explain it to me in any less.
Right.
Oh, he was the XFL MVP. Yeah, that's what he is, an XFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a Colt McCoy. You don't, who was fantastic yesterday for Arizona. You don't have that vet guy. You have another guy that is basically the same thing you're doing with Sam Darnold. You're projecting what they could be in the future.
Yeah.
So there's just nowhere to turn.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you don't have high-level weapons around him. I mean, you have Christian McCaffrey, you have DJ Moore, but if those guys aren't good with Sam Darnold, how good can they be with P.J. Walker?
Not better, I can tell you that.
Right, that's the problem.
It's not going to be good. I mean, this is just one of those times that you have made a bed and now you have to lay in it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to win games by playing good defense, hope that Sam Darnold can be good enough to not turn the ball over. I just think if he hadn't turned the ball over yesterday, what that game would look like.
Yeah.
Because Mac Jones did virtually nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The running game for New England was fine. It wasn't anything to write home about. But other than a pick six and putting the defense in bad situations, what did New England actually do yesterday? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That was a winnable game that Sam Darnold threw away.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. I don't know what the answer is. I don't. And I don't envy Matt Rule to be in the position to try to figure out what the answer is here. Because you got this guy for another year, and you're stuck. Like the Cleveland Browns, you're stuck at home with Baker Mayfield. Here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, uphill climb to the temperature forecast for the Carolinas this week. After a cool and wet stretch of weather late last week and into the weekend, things have really brightened up here. We do drop into the mid-30s tonight. That's about our average low this time of year here in Asheville. Sunshine Tuesday, mid-70s. Sunshine Wednesday, a high of 71. And then rain showers Thursday with high of 57 degrees. We do cool again for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. Come rain or shine. High winds or mild breezes. Blue skies or gray. It's a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Tired of living with awful joint pain? If you've been to an orthopedic surgeon, you know the drill. Pain meds, steroids, physical therapy, right? When those Band-Aids don't work, you know what's next. Surgery. Major surgery. Don't do it. Not until you've checked out QC Kinetics. Get a second opinion. Learn about natural biological treatments, restorative, regenerative alternatives that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, shoulders, back, and hips, other joints as well. QC Kinetics uses natural biologics from your own body and concentrates them in the precise damaged area for lasting relief. And it's an office treatment with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery. Don't go under the knife if you don't have to. Call QC Kinetics and get a second opinion now. You have nothing to lose. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. Non-surgical regenerative options are here. Call 828-333-9517.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Whoa! Over the train tracks, it's 3-0 Atlanta.
Congratulations to the Atlanta Braves.
Is this happening? It is! The Atlanta Braves are world champions!
We are the home of the Braves, ESPN Asheville.
Are you 65 or older and haven't had a colonoscopy? Join a colon cancer screening study and you could earn up to $575.
I'll screen.
It's a study for a non-invasive way to screen for colon cancer from home. By joining, you can help advance the science of screening.
I'll screen too.
You'll just need to provide a stool sample, and a colonoscopy will be done through your own insurance. Enroll now and screen to help create a better future for all.
I'll screen.
I'll screen.
Let's all screen for colon cancer.
Visit screeningstudy.com to sign up or learn more. That's screeningstudy.com.
Pernicious, adjective, having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Now, Wicked Weed's flagship IPA, winner of a silver medal at the U.S. Open Beer Championships, isn't harmful unless you're a competing IPA. Brewed in the mountains of western North Carolina, Pernicious IPA will destroy your expectations for all others in its class. Pernicious IPA inspires you to enjoy fresh and often. Order up at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed, the official craft beer of the Asheville Championship. Drink different, drink responsibly.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and seen everywhere on YouTube. YouTube.com/The Sportsocracy. Comment was made in the YouTube thread here of, should they just play out Sam Darnold's contract next year and wait for the next class of quarterbacks?
You think this class is bad?
The next one's going to be worse?
Shoe buddy.
Yeah, Bryce Young will be in that class.
Who's doesn't project as a great NFL quarterback. If you didn't like Tua Tagovailoa, you shouldn't like Bryce Young.
Right. I mean, it would have looked better before this season with DJ Uiagalelei.
Yeah,
about that. That's going to work.
Yeah, about that.
So the Panthers' best shot at a franchise quarterback in the draft is going to come this year.
If you want to take a projection, I mean, the best case scenario is that you make a run at one of these actual legitimate starters. Because I will tell you this though, there's one that will not come available. I promise you.
Aaron Rodgers.
That's the one. I can promise you Aaron Rodgers is not going anywhere.
Right.
I have an eye mad about that later in this show. And after watching Jordan Love yesterday, I can definitively tell you, Aaron Rodgers can do anything he wants to. He can show up 4 hours late and leave 4 hours early, and nobody will care.
Yep.
They don't care about his vaccination status, his relationship status, what kind of car he drives. None of it matters. None of it matters. Because they watched Jordan Love and went, the future is looking dimmer by the second.
Right.
Because he is brutally bad.
Yeah, they almost wish they hadn't had that game so they could maybe get something out of him. Now you can't trade him for anything.
If you recall, we talked about this last week where I said, you know what? Aaron Rodgers may have just accidentally given himself the greatest amount of job security in the history of the NFL.
You did.
And he did.
You did. Also from the Carolina Panthers, New England Patriots game over the weekend, Mac Jones. Oh, boy. Mac Jones actually got Grayson Allen trending on Twitter today. Because if you did
never a good sign.
If you did not see the play, he was strip sacked by Brian Burns and then proceeded to try to rip his leg off, it looked like. He was grabbing anything he possibly could, and they're making the excuse that, maybe he thought he had the ball, and that's how he was going to try to tackle him or whatever. I don't know. When you grab and twist and try to leg kick the guy as well, that's a dirty play.
Well, I mean, let's be really honest. If Mac Jones was trying to take down Brian Burns, it was going to take everything he had. That would be like you trying to bring me down.
Right.
I don't like your chances much at all.
But I'm on Hassan Reddick's side on this one. That was no doubt the dirtiest play I saw all weekend.
I don't know if I can agree with that, but I think any answer I had would be so myopic that I saw. There was a hit out of bounds in Kansas State that was brutal.
Okay, well, I don't normally get to watch every down in football like you do. I still don't know how you do it.
Well, DVR helps. 4 screens at the same time helps.
Yeah, but I don't know. You've got that recall memory that still baffles me to this day.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this for 4 years together.
Yeah, I've got a weird brain.
Yeah.
I don't remember much, but what I do remember is it stays up there for a while.
But NFL apparently is reviewing the play, and we're all wondering whether or not they will do anything about it.
I'm going to, if anything, it'll be a nominal fine.
Right.
$10,000 fine.
Yeah.
It'll be on Ian Rappaport's Twitter account on Thursday.
Right. That Mac Jones has been fired. Or has been fined.
He
not
been
fired. He's not going to be fired.
Yeah, we should stop looking for people to be fired because that's not going to happen.
No, he will be fined for that play. It's just one of those things. It's like, dude, I get what you were trying to do there, but that's not the way to go about it.
No, I mean it.
And then Brian Burns leaves the game later with another foot injury on that same ankle.
Well, he left the game twice. He left the game right after that.
I know,
and then left.
And
again.
then later, and so it makes you think: was there some damage done there by Mac Jones's dirtiness? It's not going to, but yeah. But everybody on Twitter that I saw that was upset about that, you're absolutely right. Had it been the other way around, had it been Brian Burns on Mac Jones, he probably would have got thrown out of the game.
I don't agree with that, but
it would have been a hefty fine, and everybody would have been losing their minds.
Much like everything on Twitter, that was a good topic that was taken way too far.
Way too far.
Way too far. That's what Twitter does.
Well, of course they do.
I am convinced if Twitter was real life, we would actually have to carry sticks with us everywhere we go because we would just be battling each other like barbarians.
Oh, no doubt.
You don't agree with me. I'm going to hit the bam, bam, bam.
You think the Washington football coach gets physical with people? Just wait until if we all started talking to each other like we do on Twitter in person.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I don't think would ever do that with me, but they really like to do it on Twitter.
He's been suspended, by the way. Did you see that?
I did. I did not see the event.
It's dumb.
I
mean, in my opinion, it's
watching
dumb.
Oregon and Washington.
Yeah, so one of the Washington players like bowed up on somebody, and they threw a flag for taunting, and he pushed the guy. The Washington player pushed the opposing player, and then the head coach for Washington, his name's escaping me. Jimmy Lake comes in and just like mushes him in the face with his scorecard or with his play call sheet, and like pushes him off the sideline, and he's irate and he's yelling at him, and they're, oh my God, he hit a player with a piece of paper.
Yeah, sorry, I don't even pretend to feign outrage over that.
It's so ridiculous.
I just don't.
Oh, you should never lay your hands on a player. I mean, you got a point there, but I mean, if kid's being stupid.
Look,
kind of needs a course correction.
I think everybody our age that played competitive sports would go, that's what you're mad about?
Exactly.
Okay, then.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, how did we jump this far?
I can tell you a story.
In just 15 years. In just 15 years, we've jumped this far.
Oh, I can explain it. It's because we now live in a society where nobody's allowed to say no. No is a bad word.
It's very true.
The Sports Tag.
Just a bit outside.
All right, here's the 411, folks.
No, it felt like 2012 last night watching the Tennessee Titans and Adrian Peterson back on the football field. I did not know this, though. This story came out just before the game, or that's when I saw it. So Adrian Peterson, he was, prepping just in case somebody calls from the league. He's staying in shape. He's wanting to play football. He also got another phone call with another job offer that they wanted him on Dancing with the Stars this season. And they said, we're cool with it if you still want to play football. You can come on the show, and then if somebody calls from the NFL, we'll just, we'll let you go from the show. One, that makes me think, how desperate is Dancing with the Stars for stars now?
Well, we are in a society where Jake Ryan and anybody with the last name Kardashian is actually famous. So I'm starting to think we use the term celebrity very loosely.
Yeah. Yeah, because looking at the Dancing with the Stars roster this season,
you don't know any
know
of them.
most of them.
Oh,
I mean, our good friend Jimmy Allen. Jimmy Allen that played down at Silverados, he's on Dancing with the Stars.
I would probably watch it just for him. He was a nice guy.
Well, they're like 8 weeks into the season, so you're missing it.
Oh,
you're missing it. See, that's the thing. Like, I didn't even know Dancing with the Stars was still on television.
If you asked me what day does anything come on television, I couldn't answer it. I'll be honest. This is how Netflixed I am.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode of Dexter last night. I got visibly irate that they're putting one episode out at a time. Like, visibly upset. Like, wait a minute. You're telling me I can't watch this whole thing at one time?
Nope.
That's not how we do things anymore.
Nope.
Now you put it all out at one time, and we're just done.
So they wanted Adrian Peterson on Dancing with the Stars this year. Jimmy Allen, the country singer, is on the show. He's still active. Already eliminated from the show has been Brian Austin Greene.
Oh, that dude ruined my entire childhood.
He did. Yeah, he
did.
did.
That dude ruined my life.
Should I tell him why?
No, I will fight you. I will fight you. I will fight you as if no one's watching.
Also,
those cameras cannot save you.
Martin Cove, who was the bad guy in the Karate Kid. He was the guy who led the Cobra Kai dojo. He's never seen Karate Kid, so he's no idea what I'm talking about. The Miz.
The Miz.
The Miz from WWE.
Because I'm the Miz and I'm awesome. That's the greatest tagline in the history of taglines.
It's awful.
I want that to be mine. Can he retire so I can steal that?
And yeah, so those are the notable already gone from Dancing with the Stars so far this season.
I love that. Hold on. I know that you're down a rabbit hole.
I am down a rabbit hole, and I don't care.
I just love something's happening in our chat thread on YouTube of people just keep super chatting us with things that we can buy with the donations. Like Stephen Tao said, buy some crawfish, of which I'm in digestive distress over that. And Kevin Vick said, buy yourself some canned chicken breast to go with your ramen. I love the people on our YouTube stream so much.
You guys are awesome.
Now
Absolutely
that we've gotten
awesome.
to this point where we can do this is exactly what we envisioned this show to be.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of people just sitting around at a bar talking about sports.
And you want to communicate instantly with the show, the YouTube stream is the best way to do that. You can pull it up on, of course, on your computer while you're at work, or you can put it on your device of any kind that's right there with you. Hit the subscribe button, join the House of Reprehensibles, and you too can have super chats that we just discovered this morning. Thanks to Armchair Commentary.
That apparently I had to initiate, and I still don't remember doing it.
Dancing with the Stars. There's one star left on Dancing with the Stars that I think is just great. Iman Shumpert.
Wait a minute. They consider
that's
Iman
a star.
Iman
quote
Shumpert,
unquote.
Iman Shumpert wouldn't be a star on Dancing with the NBA Stars. If they did a Dancing with the Cleveland Cavaliers, he might actually apply for that.
He'd be down on the list below Terrell Brandon.
Yeah, Iman Shumpert is how when people that don't do sports the way we do, when they watch it, they're doing with Iman Shumpert what the rest of us are doing with Martin Mull or whatever name you said.
I think I would rather see Mark Elo out there.
If we're doing that.
Mark Price.
Mark Price, Craig Elo was one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Latrell Sprewell, he got kicked off the first week for getting too physical.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, who would be another one? Vontez Burfict is for some reason it come to my mind. Maybe it's because we have so many Bengals fans.
I thought we were just doing Cavaliers players.
Just Dancing with the Cavaliers.
Yeah. Zadrunas Ilgauskas? Yeah. Against Anderson Varejao in the final. That's...
I feel like if I say what I want to, we are going to get canceled with Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to move on to my story. After tearing the NFL up to the tune of 113 receiving yards per game and 10 touchdowns, members of Craig Cup's Fantasy League are officially fed up with the league rule that Craig got to take his son Cooper in the league draft out of courtesy. Apparently, they didn't let anybody in the league take Cooper because they didn't want his dad to have to root against him. Well, for the first few years in the league, that wasn't that big of a deal. Now he's the number one wide receiver in fantasy football, and they have said no more. LA Times reporter Sam Farmer caught up to Craig, who shared the news that this will be the last year he is afforded the luxury of landing Cooper without having to worry about a fellow fantasy owner snapping him up.
Right.
Okay, I have to ask this. Am I the only one that thinks this is the stupidest thing in the history of time? I don't care if you play in the NFL. You have to draft you. I am not giving you any form of leeway. Especially considering he wasn't a first-round pick. It'd be one thing if your kid was Dalvin Cook.
Mm-hmm.
That, okay, now I'll give you the first pick. If you don't take him, that's on you.
Right.
Guy at 2 could take him. When it's Cooper, like, how does that even work? Like, you have to take him by the 4th round, and he's sitting here going, who do I take? If I pass on my kid right now, will he come back to me in the beginning of the 5th? Because that's how I see that going, and it's out. I am Seacrest out.
No, that's definitely how it would go for me. I will play in your league, guys, if you want me to, but you have to give me my kid.
Out. He's right. You said if you want us to, but we don't want you to. You want special provisos? We're out.
Well, I mean that's how I see that going down. Is like a whole bunch of guys in a work league are like, "Hey, Craig, we want you to play in our league." He's like, "I'm only going to play if you let me have Cooper." I'm like, okay, fine. Because that's like a rite of passage. You get to tell all your buddies, I play fantasy football with Cooper Kupp's dad.
I play cards with J.D. Shellnut.
Exactly. And if Maurice Shellnut was the star running back, you'd have to give him to J.D.
Out. I'm out. No, you want him, you trade up and go get him.
You're ruthless.
Oh, 100% I am. 100%
That's
I am.
awful.
And I don't care what stupid thing you do.
Right. And you know
we
what?
had somebody tell us this morning that somebody in their league dropped George Kittle by accident. Well, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
That is tough. If you accidentally, I don't know, donate $10,000 to your neighbor, you can't go back and go, about that. I know you have already spent that money, but I'm going to require that back.
Right. I don't think it's as dumb as an idea as you do.
Oh, I do. Oh, no. I give you nothing.
But I also don't blame the guys in the league at all for going, wait a minute, he's the best wide receiver since Jerry Rice statistically.
Yeah, it's
this is not going to happen anymore.
Oh, your kid is that third receiver for the Rams? Yeah, you can have him. I didn't want him anyway.
Right.
Well, now he's the best receiver in the NFL? Well, I guess you're going to need another kid in the league, or you're going to be rooting against your children.
Yep. Can't have him.
That is how I work.
Cannot have him. Oh, yesterday was just so crazy in the NFL.
One of the weirdest days I've ever seen. I am convinced the best team in the NFL lost to the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah.
And Chris Hansen was just all up in arms about it's Josh Allen Day. He's got a sack and an interception and a fumble recovery. And
they're not the worst team in the NFL.
There are not many
but they're
worse.
Close. They're close.
There are not many worse.
I mean, they're third worst.
Put it this way. If we had a 4-team tournament between the Miami Dolphins, the Houston Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Detroit Lions, you know who wins?
Nobody.
No one wins. Anyone whose television broke and they didn't watch it, that's who won. Anybody who had previous engagements and was not around the that's much how I feel about Thursday Night Football this week too.
No, that's totally fantasy footballification of the NFL. We should do that for the first round pick. For the number 1 pick next year, we should have a 4-way duel to the death tournament between the 4 worst teams in the NFL. Just have an actual dung bowl. That's what we call it in our fantasy league.
Yeah, and the team that loses has to play in the SEC next year. That's your punishment.
And they'll call up the winner of the national championship.
Dan Mullen
either Alabama or Georgia.
Dan Mullen just went, no, we can't beat the teams in this conference as it stands. I don't need it to get worse.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to get to Dan Mullen in the second hour of the program.
Oh, you just hate to see it as a Florida State fan.
You can't do that. You can't do that in Gainesville. Wow.
Yeah, you hate to see that as a Florida State fan. You know, it really
hurts me.
I lost so much sleep over the weekend. Sorry, my evil was showing, and I forgot there's a camera on us, so everybody got to see it.
Not since Ron Zook have there been such enjoyment in places like Tallahassee and Athens, Georgia.
And this is coming from a guy who literally willfully bets against his own team every week just to guarantee victory. If we accidentally win, yay.
Yeah.
Or we get shellacked by NC State. Sports freak Brian Hall was sending me text messages over the weekend like, thanks for that touchdown. And I'm like, I'm betting with you. I'm as big a State fan as you are. I don't want to win this.
Yeah. The Buffalo Bills lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars 9-6 because they didn't get the notice that they're showing up in Jacksonville for a football game.
I feel
apparently.
I feel like the Buffalo Bills were hanging out with Urban Meyer last night. It's just the night before, or Saturday night. They were out boot scooting, honky tonking. That's the only explanation for that. Is that every player on the team just absolutely just got aggressive in Jacksonville until 4:00 in the morning.
I was gonna say, as soon as they got across the state line, they they got the Rona immediately or something.
That doesn't even explain it. I mean, there is no way.
There's a lot you can blame on Rona these days.
Apparently, that's one of those games, and we have practically one of these a week where I just go, you know what I took from this? Nothing. There's nothing to take from this. Are we worried about Buffalo now? That was one of our Overreaction Monday topics this morning. You can see those every Monday morning, 10 a.m. on YouTube, youtube.com/sportsocracy, or you can watch them now live at thesportsocracy.com. Because our tech guy, i.e. me, finally figured out how to do that. But, I mean, there are people that are the Bills, are they going to lose the division to the Patriots? Are you out of your mind?
Stop that.
No, they're not going to lose the division. Now, they may not be the 1 seed because the Tennessee Titans, after what I saw last night,
can't lose.
They don't play a lot of games that they could lose.
Right.
You said this last week, and I got to give you credit for that. Their schedule is dog water.
Mm-hmm.
They don't play anybody. Last night was the last really difficult game they have. I think they play one more playoff contender. Other than that, it's just brutal. I think they play the Texans twice and the Jaguars.
They got the Saints, Texans, Patriots, Jaguars next. Then they go Steelers, 49ers, Dolphins, Texans. Ugh. You should run the table on all of that.
Armchair Commentary has added another super chat that says the loser of the Dung Bowl has to play Bishop Sycamore to stay in the NFL.
There you go.
I mean, most of the kids on Bishop Sycamore's team were about NFL age, so
right.
That is still the story that just keeps on giving.
Oh, the Bishop Sycamore.
Yeah. Hey, we got a bunch of dudes that work at the shipyards to play as a high school team.
I had a guy ask me about that over the weekend. Like, hey, whatever happened to that Bishop Sycamore thing? I was like,
they all went back to work.
Yeah,
they disbanded the high school and everybody went back to their jobs.
They all play for the Buffalo Bills now, apparently. Anyway. But now that Buffalo lost and the Broncos beating the Cowboys, just inexplicable things happening. And now you have, with a win tonight by the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're going to have 9 teams in the AFC that have 5 wins.
That is the craziest stat I've ever heard in my life.
Right.
You have more teams in the AFC that have 5 wins than don't have 5 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Said proudly by a fan of a team with 2.
Yeah. 9 teams in the AFC could have 5 wins by the end of tonight, barring what comes out of the Pittsburgh game.
There's one thing I'll say about my team. We're not followers. Everybody else wins 5 games. We win 2.
No.
We set a trend.
You'll be lucky to win 5 all year.
JETS. Just in the season.
And coming up in the second hour, we will talk about, we'll do confidence ratings. Let's do that. All of the five win teams in the AFC will do confidence ratings on their chances to make the playoffs this year. Some very interesting storylines among all of those teams. Also, we'll get into the college football. What happened over the weekend? Of course, the number 1 team in the country continued to roll. Bama didn't look great. Ohio State didn't look great. Michigan State lost. It's a lot to break down. But first, coming up after the break. It's the Green on Green picks of the night. We'll have your monkey knife fight as well as the pick for Monday Night Football, Bears versus the Steelers, right here in the Sportsocracy. Check us out at thesportsocracy.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Joint pain relief doesn't have to mean drugs and surgery. Now there's a better alternative that patients are raving about. Hey, this is for my friends at QC Kinetics. Local medical professionals using natural biologic treatments. Highly concentrated healing properties from your own body put directly into the affected joint. Restoring and repairing damaged tissue the way your body was designed to heal. If you're tired of the Band-Aid solutions like drugs and steroids, and you really want to avoid surgery, you need to check out QC Kinetics. Regenerative, restorative, natural treatments for knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, pain in your hips. Don't continue to suffer, and don't go in for surgery until you check this out. See if you're a candidate. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. Surgical pain relief with lasting results. 828-333-9517.
Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville.
Lowe's Provember event is back, and we're thanking pros like you all month long. So when you become a Pro Loyalty member, now through November 24th, you'll get a welcome kit via mail, Lowe's bucket included. It's all part of Provember, going on online and in stores. Lowe's, the new home for pros. New accounts only. More terms and conditions apply while supplies last. Visit Lowe's.com/ProLoyalty for details. U.S. only.
Hi, welcome to Furniture Depot. And you, come on in. Yes.
Couches are flying off the floor at Cheyenne's Furniture Store.
Sarah, can you go over to dining sets, please?
She needs more sales associates before shoppers take their seats elsewhere.
Can somebody get me a price check on trundle beds?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's Macy's Black Friday one-day sale with incredible deals of the day while supplies last. Like warm coats for him, her, and kids under $100. Designer suits and dress shirts 50 to 60% off. And get 55% off diamond jewelry they're sure to love. Plus, Star Rewards members earn rewards even faster during Star Money bonus days, going on now at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. St. Nicholas and my family, they'll all be here.
The holidays are coming, and so are the guests. Are you sure your home's ready? Let Over the Moon Cleaning Services do the heavy lifting for you. Right now, Over the Moon is offering Sportsocracy listeners 20% off a deep clean when you schedule bi-weekly or weekly cleanings. Call them today at 585-0146 and book a free estimate. 585-0146.
Office closes on. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
I got excited there for a minute. I thought maybe you were trying to tell me something. Is it time for underdogs?
Is it?
No, I have no underdogs, but I do have 4 picks for you. 2 in the NFL, 2 in the NBA. First one, the New York Knicks are a 2.5-point favorite tonight at the Philadelphia 76ers. No Joel Embiid, no Ben Simmons against one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. Why do I see this ending very badly for Philadelphia? This is one of those times that lines makers, they just can't move the number enough. But with no Joel Embiid, this number should easily be 8+.
Right.
It's not going to get that far because they debuted it. In the NBA, you really can't take games off the board because no player really affects the line that much. This is just a bad line. Give me New York -2.5. My 2022 NBA champion Denver Nuggets are taking on the Miami Heat tonight. They are a 1.5-point dog. You'd think this is where I'm giving you a dog, right? Oh, wait, no, I'm not. Miami is way, way better than Denver. This game probably will not be close. If it stays close, it's because it's in Denver. Miami's just so good. That team is ridiculous. We don't talk a lot of NBA during football season.
Right.
Miami is low-key one of the best teams in the NBA, and I slept on them aggressively. That Kyle Lowry addition has changed all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Miami minus the 1.5. Finally, tonight, Monday Night Football, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers welcoming the Chicago Bears to Heinz Field. They're a 7-point favorite. The over-under is 40. I do not see any way that they get to 40 points in this game. I could see them not getting to 20. I'm taking Pittsburgh minus the 7. I think this is going to be gross. Give me the Steelers -7 under the 40.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
You sure you don't want to go with the underdog, as weird as this week's been in the NFL?
No, I don't. I feel like this is where the correction happens, and the favorite is going to win by a number to 0.
Aggressively.
Yeah, this is...
Even with David Montgomery back.
I don't care.
Okay. All right. Daily fantasy sports props fun is available at monkeyknifefight.com. Just go to monkeyknifefight.com, set yourself up an account today, make your deposit, and when you make your initial deposit, monkeyknifefight.com will match it up to $50 and give you a $5 free play. So what's the play tonight?
I just told you there was a game in the NBA that line makers couldn't adjust it enough.
Yeah.
That applies to monkeyknifefight.com too. I am playing the more or less 3.6x multiplier between the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers. I will go over 21.5 points for Julius Randle. I want to see if you can tell me who the Sixers player is.
Tobias Harris.
No, It's Shake Milton. I will go over 15.5 points for Shake Milton because his usage rate with no Joel Embiid on the floor is ridiculous. He might shoot 30 times, but he will score about 17 points. Mm-hmm. So I'm going more than 21.5 for Julius Randle, more than 15.5 for Shake Milton. That will take your $20 buy-in and turn it into a $72 prize.
Normally that guy would be Joel Embiid, but he was going to be resting tonight anyway. But on top of that, he has apparently entered the protocol. So he's probably going to miss a few games for the Philadelphia
76ers. It is National Tongue Twister Day.
Is it really?
I don't think that qualified, but I did see that Eddie Fox and Eddie and Amanda Fox did tongue twisters with Mark Starling this morning.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I noticed that they didn't bring us into that.
No, I can't say normal words right.
That's kind of what I was talking about. We talk worse than any two people that talk for a living in the history of talking.
Well, that's how it goes sometimes. Anyway, yeah, we had wackiness in the NFL yesterday. Another inexplicable thing that happened. In my opinion, Jeremy called it, and I got to give you props on it. But the beatdown that the Cleveland Browns put on the Cincinnati Bengals.
That was so predictable to me.
But to that degree?
I didn't necessarily think it would be that degree, but Nick Chubb was my favorite player on DraftKings yesterday.
Yes.
There was just no doubt. How are you going to stop him?
Mm-hmm.
And you get Odell out of the room. I should have known it with Denver. I just didn't quite realize the level of headache that Von Miller had become.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the Cowboys that sleepwalk into that game because they think they're going to win just because they show up.
Right.
And that's how you get 30-0 going into the fourth quarter for the Dallas Cowboys.
So the Falcons beat the Saints and the Giants beat the Raiders. It was just all topsy-turvy yesterday. And frankly, this is the thing that the NFL just keeps you coming back for because it's so unpredictable at times. And that's why when you hear coaches say it's tough to win in this league, it's weeks like that remind you, oh, yeah, not everything is a given in the NFL, even when it's as top-heavy as it has been this year. Speaking of top-heavy, things are Things are pretty heavy at the top of college football. We'll talk some of that coming up after the break, as well as more in the NFL. Confidence ratings for all of those 5-win teams in the AFC.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, uphill climb to the temperature forecast for the Carolinas this week. After a cool and wet stretch of weather late last week and into the weekend, things have really brightened up here. We do drop into the mid-30s tonight. That's about our average low this time of year here in Asheville. Sunshine Tuesday, mid-70s. Sunshine Wednesday, a high of 71. And then rain showers Thursday with high of 57 degrees. We do cool again for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Cantina Crispy Melt Taco from Taco Bell has a premium shell made from white corn and a hidden layer of real mozzarella, pepper jack, and cheddar cheeses. And now you're craving one, because when you need a taco, you need a taco. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only.
Welcome back to the quickest podcast ever, brought to you by Kohl's. Today's topic, Black Friday. I've been training for it all year. Like a marathon? Pretty much. The deals are here, so I made my list. Checked it twice. Yep. And mapped out the best gifts, like sneakers for my husband, toys for my kids, a cozy throw for my sister, and for me, not telling. There's even an extra 15% off, and you can get Kohl's Cash. So you'll go back for more. I've taught you so well.
Select styles. Select deals valid through November 10th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville. WPEK, W225, CJ Fairview, WMXF, Waynesville.
The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Right now, Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson cleared to play Sunday against the Packers, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Got the clearance from the doctor who performed surgery on his right middle finger last month. The Steelers try to continue their role and stay in the hunt in the AFC North race when they host the Bears on Monday Night Football, 8 Eastern, ESPN TV. Pittsburgh's won 3 straight partially because its offensive line is coming together, notes ESPN's Chris Mortensen.
Even their left tackle is surprised. Rookie Van Moore, 4th rounder out of Texas A&M. He did pretty well against Myles Garrett last week. Even though he gave up 1 sack, he held his own without a lot of help. They think they're about to get better. So right now, their problem is they're in the AFC North with the Ravens and the Browns. But that's also a problem for the Ravens and the Browns because the Steelers are starting to come together.
The Steelers are a game and a half back of AFC North leading Baltimore. NBA, 76ers big man Joel Embiid tested positive today for COVID-19, reports ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. He'll miss at least 10 days, meaning he's out a minimum of 5 games. Celtics leading scorer Jaylen Brown out the next 1 to 2 weeks because of a hamstring strain.
Step up your creativity now during Dell's Black Friday event with early access savings up to $300 off, including deals on the latest PCs with Intel Core processors, shop laptops, monitors, and more. Plus, free shipping. Call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword BAG to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's BAG to 200-200.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets and Wicked Weed Brewing.
You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. We are live in the Ingalls studio. Second hour of the program, as always, brought to you by Wicked Weed Brewing. Check them out at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different. Wicked Weed Brewing, also the official craft beer of the Asheville Championship. You can get those tickets, by the way, for this weekend's action. Friday, 2 games. Sunday, 2 games. They will all be aired right here on ESPN Asheville, but you can get your tickets to see it live at the Harris Cherokee Center Asheville, at your local Ingles store. So, yeah, Ingles, Wicked Weed, and the Sportsocracy. We do great things together.
You can also go to wickedweedgear.com and get a lovely hat like the one that's on Tank's head right now.
Mm-hmm. It's very nice. The Flex Fit, I like it a lot. They have some really cool gear.
They do.
I haven't gotten my new T-shirt laundered yet.
Laundered?
Yeah, I have to get it. I have to wash all of my clothes before I wear them. Is that weird? Like new clothes when you buy them in the store.
I mean, I understood that.
Yeah.
I assumed if you wore it, you had to wash it. I'm stuck on you have to.
Before I wear something that I buy in the store, I have to wash it.
Okay, I think you're weird on that. I'm going to ask this in the chat on YouTube. Do you wash clothes after buying them before you wear them?
Uh-huh.
I could be weird on this because I'll throw them on before I
may
get
not
in the
be.
car.
My wife thinks it's one of the weirdest things about me is that I refuse to wear clothes that I just bought in the store. She'll say, "Oh, but they're clean." Well, I mean, they did come through the manufacturing process at some point. I don't feel like they got laundered after they did that.
You might not be weird on that. I don't know. My wife thinks I'm weird for it. Yeah, we'll ask in the chat. You can join the chat, by the way, on YouTube. Check us out at thesportsocracy.com. All the live videos linked up there. And you can subscribe to the channel. You can become a member of the House of Reprehensibles. That's like the super our
group.
YouTube member group.
Yeah, the membership group on YouTube. And also you can play with this fun new little tool that Armchair Commentary showed us this morning where you can actually pay to have your comments in the chat highlighted, and we'll definitely put them on the screen if you're going to put money behind your statements. Put your money where your mouth is.
They just can't be vulgar because we have to be able to say them into this microphone.
Exactly. We will save the vulgar ones for the shows when we're not on the FCC-controlled airwaves.
Yes.
You can fire away on the other shows.
There is a reason that those shows start with, this program is intended for a mature audience.
Exactly. I'm going to go ahead and register my vote there. Yes. I do. I am in the vast minority on
100%. Right now, you're losing all to 0 to 1.
Oh, she makes fun of me because years ago there was one of those fake news things going around on the internet about how, like, if you didn't wash your clothes after you bought them and they came from like Malaysia, that you could get this weird like virus that had like worms would bury into your pores and. Yeah, it's gross.
That's one of the dumber things I've ever heard.
Right.
Who put that out? Tide.
Yeah,
Tide put that out.
It freaked me out so much that I cannot do it. I know it's a fake thing. I know it's not real, but the description of just still makes my skin crawl. And I know it's not true. So, anyhow,
no, it's not true, and that's not enough for you.
No, it's not. It's not enough.
And I lost to this guy, and now I have to eat a mud bug.
Yes, you did. Update on the torture ticket. Jeremy took the Kansas City Chiefs to cover the 7.
I still maintain I was right about that.
I mean, you were not right about that.
I still maintain I was right.
Well, I mean, you could say you were right about it.
I don't care. I was right. I got every bit of that right. The Green Bay Packers could not score a point on any team in the NFL except the one that they played yesterday.
Kind of my point. Not right.
You could not possibly have thought Pat Mahomes was going to be held to 13 points. And he shouldn't have been. Oh, stop it. You admitted this morning that I was right.
You were right about Jordan Love. I was wrong about Jordan Love. But I do believe I told you on Friday, this Kansas City Chiefs offense is horrible.
It is very bad.
And this game is going to be closer than you expect. Man, it worked out exactly the way I said.
We have a new super chat that might be my favorite one I've seen yet. Michael White said, you would think Tightwad Tank wouldn't want to use the detergent to clean new clothes. I'm not going to lie, that was the second thought I had.
Well, now that you've said that,
the first one was, what weird things do you think happen in clothes? First of all, what people do not wear undershirts?
I mean, I do.
I catch a lot of flack for that.
I still wear undershirts, and I still have to wash the shirts.
I wear an undershirt every day. I have like 200 of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the, my lovely wife spent did just a copious amount of laundry because I have more clothes than any person you ever should.
Mm-hmm.
I have like 400 white shirts,
which is weird.
I have a ton of them.
I remember when we were doing the shows from the dungeon, or from the bunker, as we called it, at your house. I remember just being awed by the mountain of laundry that you could produce, even when you're stuck at home.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, look, I like to be in clean clothes. All right, it's like clean sheets.
Well, that's fine, but do laundry more than
clean sheets.
Yeah, but do laundry more than once a month.
That's why I have so many clothes, because I don't have to do laundry but like 12 times a year.
Gotcha.
It's the benefit of having that many clothes.
Kevin Vick says, "What's an undershirt?" It's a shirt that you wear
that goes under the other shirt.
Yeah. Like right now, I'm wearing a long sleeve black shirt underneath my red T-shirt because it was a little chilly this morning, and now I'm sweating to death.
Yeah, it's 8 billion degrees in here.
I got sweat dripping out my pores. I can't take it. Anyhow, undershirts. Dirty little secret. That's what fat guys wear to make them feel better about how tight their clothes are.
That's not why I wear them.
Mm-hmm. Why do you wear them?
Mine is I just don't feel right without. I need that barrier.
You need double.
I need the barrier. Like I'm not a person that sweats a lot anyway, but it's just you gotta have.
You just gotta have double coverage.
Yeah, okay. It's a safety defense. If you spilled McRib deliciousness on your top shirt, you got another shirt.
You can just take off your shirt.
You just roll with it.
Anyhow, college football this weekend. Boy, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Sure.
I mean, the fact that the Georgia Bulldogs did not cover the 38.5 really upset me. Did you take that? Did you?
I might have had a parlay with that.
Really? You took Missouri plus the 38.5?
One of the few parlays that I actually hit this weekend I had just insane dogs. I had Nebraska against Ohio State because a friend of mine in Vegas convinced me. I still look at that and go, why in the world did that work?
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska's terrible. Apparently so is Ohio State. None of them are Florida bad.
Right.
Florida, you have set the high water mark for terribleness, and you just hate to see it, don't you?
R.I.P. parlays.
Just hate to see it.
R.I.P. parlays. So the 15 grander didn't work out for you?
Thanks, Wake Forest.
Uh-huh. North Carolina Tar Heels pulling out an exciting win over the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, so ACC's out. We don't have to worry about them in the college football playoff discussion any longer.
Yeah, Michigan State. Here's the thing. There was so much gnashing of teeth about Cincinnati. Just keep winning. That's all you have to do. Just keep winning. You'll slide in. I mean, you'll get slaughtered if you do. But just...
I don't think they will.
Oh, I do.
I really don't think they will.
Oh, you don't think Oklahoma's going to lose one of the games that they have left?
They might.
They're 100% going to lose to somebody. They play Baylor, Oklahoma State, and maybe Iowa State?
Mm-hmm.
You're losing one of those three. Sorry, Caleb Williams for Heisman. Can we stop that? I think we're done now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not good. And Ohio State is not good. By the way, that round robin of the Big Ten, you starting to see what I was talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it took 2 weeks, and we have one left. And they've actually already lost the game. It just wasn't in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Michigan State lost to Purdue. It wasn't good. It was 40-29. They got smacked in the mouth on the road, but they still control their own destiny. If they went out, Michigan State.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
They're not getting in with a loss to Purdue.
Oh, yeah, they will.
You're out of your
glory. If they went out and win the Big Ten, they're in.
No shot. Absolutely no shot. Did you see where they dropped in the poll?
In the top 25 poll?
Yes.
No, what did they drop to 7?
I think they went to 9, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, let me look. Let me click on it.
I got news for you. They ain't getting in. Michigan State, bye. You only had 2 shots at good wins and
8.
Yeah, they're not getting in.
They beat Ohio State. They're going to get back into the playoff.
And I disagree with you because that's not at this point. That's not that impressive of a win. I mean, it's better than what most other teams have. Mm-hmm. Undefeated Cincinnati gets in over Michigan State. Period. And to me, it's not even all that close. Oregon will get in over Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot lose to Purdue. Sorry. You want to be in the playoff? Win. That's the path to righteousness.
Yeah.
A team like Michigan State is not going to get past a loss. It's just not going to happen. Plus, I think they're going to lose another game anyway, so it's not going to matter.
Well, I mean, if they do win another game, obviously they're out. But at this point, I think if they beat Ohio State and they win the Big Ten, they're in.
No shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're done.
Especially
your
not against Cincinnati.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. At some point, you have to look at it and go, they're just the team left. Do I think they're one of those teams? No, I don't. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, so they still have Oregon, Ohio State, and Oklahoma. All of those teams are above them right now in the pecking order. So Oregon runs the table and wins. They're in. Ohio State runs the table and wins. They're in. Oklahoma runs the table. They're in. Cincinnati's still on the outside looking in.
Oh, I'm not saying they're going to make it. I'm just telling you they'd make it over Michigan State. One of these teams is going to win out that shouldn't. And I don't see how it's going to be Oklahoma just solely because they've been so bad.
Right.
But Ohio State or somebody like that's going to win out, and they'll get in and be a sacrificial lamb to Georgia.
I thought it was ridiculous all weekend long. I mean, as the game is going on, as Cincinnati is struggling with Tulsa, there are still people going, oh, I think Cincinnati got a raw deal. No, they didn't. They are not that good. I don't care that they're undefeated. They can go undefeated, and if they continue to beat all of these AAC teams by 8 points, they're not getting in over anybody in the Power 5.
I'm just telling you. I believe what I heard was that you would need 4 things to happen for them to get in. Well, 2 of them happened in the first weekend. So if they just keep winning out, they'll get in. If for nothing else, because the committee will go, okay, this is what you want? All right, you want to see this? This will be fun. Yeah. Let's see what those Bear Kitties do when they play the Georgia Bulldogs. And why is it getting beat by 40?
But they played them close last year.
In a game that, Georgia didn't have half of their players because they declared early. B, didn't want to be there. C, it was the Super Bowl for Cincinnati.
Yes. And guess what? Still lost.
Never lost. Never lost to the Cincinnati.
No, have not. I don't know. I still feel like Michigan State's got a shot. Ohio State obviously is still they're still in the mix. Oregon, Oklahoma, all of them. Hell, I would say that Michigan, if Michigan runs out.
Michigan's not in.
If they run the table and win the Big Ten.
No shot.
So you say the Big Ten champion cannot make it?
No, because
with one loss.
Because of the exact same thing I told you, is that they're going to round robin this and pilfer themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because every one of these losses makes them look weaker and weaker and weaker. And so eventually you get to a point where it's like, okay, so who's actually good? Who do you believe is good in the Big Ten? I mean, I'll give you my answer. It's nobody.
Nobody?
Nobody. I don't think any of them are any good. I think the bottom of that conference is dog water.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it, I mean, Ohio State, you're fine. You're a New Year's 6 team.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on who you play, it may or may not go well. But do I think that's a team that deserves a shot to win a national title? No. Do I think Oregon has one? No. I think you have 2. And one of those 2 struggled as hard as they could with LSU.
See, that's
Go Tigers.
And that's the thing. Like, I keep hearing the naysayers against Alabama say they're going to slip up and they're going to lose another game.
And they very well might.
They might.
And if they do, now you have real
That's
pandemonium.
super chaos.
Because now there's not a good win in the Big Ten. If somebody beats Ohio State, they went out and somebody beats them in the Big Ten title game, that's still a good win, in spite of the fact of how bad they've looked at times. They lose, now there's not a good win to be had. Unless it's Michigan that beats them, then Michigan goes in the Big Ten title game and just boat races somebody.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I don't even know who you're going to play on the other side. That's the other part of the Big Ten. Oh, they're the Big Ten champions. Whoop-de-doo. You beat Minnesota, who just lost to Illinois. The other side of the Big Ten, also dog water.
Right. But those teams will also have wins over Ohio State, Michigan State, Michigan. You're going to have good wins on that schedule.
I don't think any of them are good wins at this point. That's the beauty of the way we do this now.
Right.
Is that the eye test does matter for something.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. Michigan State didn't just lose. They got demolished.
Yes.
And that plays into this.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, now the ACC, they're now also out.
Right. With Carolina's 58-55 win over Wake Forest, we tried to tell you to take the over. If you didn't, you
I'm
missed
sorry,
out.
because I took it aggressively.
And Alabama struggled with LSU. I think that was one of the more shocking things of the weekend, was just the offense for Alabama did not look good at all.
It's just as time goes on, can we just give it to Georgia and be done with it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that.
I'm sure you
As a Georgia fan, I'm cool with that.
It's just the more time goes on, the more it's like, okay, so what could actually happen to Georgia that I'm not going to have them in? Nothing.
Well, I mean, if
I don't care if you got boat raced.
if somehow they slipped up and lost this weekend.
Who do you play this weekend?
Tennessee, at Tennessee.
Still wouldn't care. Still wouldn't care.
Really?
No, I wouldn't care. As a matter of fact, not only would I not care, I'd still have you won. With a bullet. It wouldn't even be close to me. This is why I was laughing when you said, a 2-loss Alabama's not going to get it. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Especially if those 2 losses are to Texas A&M and to Georgia. Absolutely, they're getting in.
I don't remember ever saying that.
You said a 2-loss out. You said it last week. You said a 2-loss Alabama wouldn't get in over Cincinnati. Yeah, they will. Yeah, 100% they will.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get in over everybody. And I'll be honest with you, I think they could lose to Georgia and still be the 2. That is how, just beyond a shadow of a doubt, better the SEC is than everybody else at this point.
Right. Well, unfortunately, fortunately, I guess I should say, for Alabama, they're not going to have much of a contest this week because this is their off week. New Mexico State. That's who they play.
Well, that's fun.
So that's going to be fun.
That's fun.
But yeah, Georgia's got Tennessee this week, and then it's Charleston Southern, and then Indy gets Georgia Tech.
Oh yeah, I mean
that's all that's left.
Georgia's in. There's 3 spots left, and I think Alabama's in. Question is who fills the other 2, and it's basically just going to be survival of the fittest.
Right.
Whoever doesn't take another loss, it's you.
Right.
And you get to be just dog food for Georgia and Alabama.
There were 8 upsets in the top 25 this week.
Baylor loses to TCU, which was I watched more of that than I'm proud of. And I shouldn't have.
But what in the world has happened to the Florida Gators?
I hate to say it.
Ooh, is it time for Dan Mullen to say goodbye in the swamp? We'll talk about it up next right here on ESPN Asheville. You're in the Sportsocracy.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, uphill climb to the temperature forecast for the Carolinas this week after a cool and wet stretch of weather late last week and into the weekend. Things have really brightened up here. We do drop into the mid-30s tonight. That's about our average low this time of year here in Asheville. Sunshine Tuesday, mid-70s. Sunshine Wednesday, a high of 71. And then rain showers Thursday with high of 57 degrees. We do cool again for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow due to construction 26 westbound between Ozone Drive and the US 25 connector. 26 westbound again slow between Airport Road and Long Shoals Road. Near Waynesville, 40 westbound stop and go between Fines Creek Road and Harmondin Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road southbound after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road delays. Hendersonville Road moving problem-free. Sardis Road moving from Sandhill Road to Pond Road, expect few delays. Blue Ridge Parkway portions are now closed, but the commuter stretch of the Blue Ridge Parkway is open. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. Come rain or shine. High winds or mild breezes. Blue skies or gray. It's a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Lowe's Provember event is back, and we're thanking pros like you all month long with buy one, get one free deals on select DeWalt power tools and top values like a Spyder 2-pack of 4.5-inch diamond cutoff wheels for $14.98. Join us for Provember, going on now through November 24th. Shop in-store or at Lowe's.com/Provember. Lowe's, the new home for pros. While supplies last, U.S. only, valid 10/28 through 11/24.
The Cantina Crispy Melt Taco from Taco Bell has a premium shell made from white corn and a hidden layer of real mozzarella, pepper jack, and cheddar cheeses. And now you're craving one, because when you need a taco, you need a taco. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg, and cheese or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
Tank is still amused by the fact that you can see his hand.
I can see my hand.
He's sitting there behind. We put up the graphic of our new shirt in our merch store, which you can see on YouTube.
Yeah,
I find it to be absolutely hilarious, which I should because I made it.
He's so proud of it too.
I am, and
you should be.
And we're going to do these every week moving forward. We cannot find anywhere that does funny sports shirts that are on demand.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to do that, because we don't have enough stuff to do.
Yep. My new favorite person in the chat, by the way, is Rob Johnson. Rob, you and I, right there, buddy. Y'all nasty. Y'all nasty for not washing shirts that you just bought in the store. You don't know where it came from, who touched it, what the employees packing that stuff have done with it. No, I'm done.
Well, this is coming from a man that I've literally watched eat a gas station hot dog.
Well, that's true.
So you want to talk about where things have been? That thing was rolling around on the floor, and they put it back, and you ate it.
I just don't want to get the Facebook poor worm or whatever it is.
Yeah, you mean that thing that doesn't exist?
Exactly. Florida had quite the problem this weekend with the South Carolina Gamecocks, where they just forgot to play any kind of defense, and that has cost Todd Grantham his job. Defensive coordinator Todd Grantham and head coach
had to get fired.
Yeah, and head coach Dan Mullen. If you've not seen the clips of them yelling at each other on the sideline, well, it was really more Dan Mullen yelling and Todd Grantham doing his best. Yeah, whatever. Okay. You should tell your offense to score some points. That would be my bad lip reading. We should do some of those. The bad lip reading videos.
Oh, I'm totally down. We are going to do a commentary of a game. I've been asked that multiple times.
Oh, to do commentary during a game.
Yeah, we can't put it on the screen because we don't have a deal with any of the leagues. But
right.
Can we do just in the performance center in there with all the branding? And absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know if that's allowed or not. I don't think you can do that.
Oh, you can do that. 100%. You don't commentate the game. You just talk about it as it's happening.
Oh, okay.
That's a new thing.
Yeah.
We're always looking to branch out into new stuff.
We could definitely make that fun. Kind of Mystery Science 3000. You've never even seen those, have you?
Nope.
Oh, goodness. Those are quite funny. Where they take B movies and just talk about them during the movie.
Does that mean we should take B college football games?
Yes. Well, we should definitely do this
Louisiana, Monroe, and South Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Rhode Island and UMass. That would have been a good one to do this past weekend.
They got Walt Bell fired. I mean, it's bad when UMass goes, okay, that is the breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
You have been depleted by every team you have played. But this is the final straw.
Right.
But yeah,
didn't they lose to UConn?
Yes, they did. Yeah, they also lost to an FCS team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how bad you are. That's not good.
Mm-mm. Not good at all. But 40-17, South Carolina drubbed the Florida Gators. And Jeremy, you laughed at me when I said this yesterday, but you've got to fire Dan Mullen for this.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yes, you are a proud SEC program that cannot allow this kind of a travesty to occur.
Well, first of all, his buyout is a bajillion dollars.
You were down 30-10 at halftime.
Yeah, and
the only way it could have been worse if that would have been Vanderbilt.
I do not disagree with anything you just said. Here's what nobody wants to talk about with Florida.
Mm-hmm.
This is who you are. This is who you are. I don't know why this is so hard for people to wrap their heads around.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State drugged Florida down the sidewalk for years. Years. They were the third best team in Florida, and it was not all that close.
Right.
So, all right, so they should fire Dan Mullen. No doubt. Who you going to hire? Because to be real honest, who wants this job?
Mm-hmm.
Who wants it? You are the pro team here because I'll be honest with you, one of my best friends in this industry covers two teams, Florida Gators, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
I've been told no less than 50 times we get 10 times the interaction with a Florida Gators story than we do a Jacksonville Jaguars story. You are the pro team down there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. You've had, since 2002 actually. That was the first year after Steve Spurrier left.
Mm-hmm.
How many 10-win seasons does Florida have?
2?
It's way more than that.
I don't know.
It's 7.
Okay.
You're not Alabama. You're not even LSU. You're a mid-tier SEC school. That's exactly what you are, and Dan Mullen's one of the best coaches in the country. So take away the buyout. Let's say you could just get rid of him for $1.
Mm-hmm.
You still shouldn't do it. Because you seem to be forgetting Jim McElwain, Will Muschamp, and Ron Zook.
Mm-hmm.
Or as I like to call it, the golden years, where you would trot into Tallahassee and just get scattered, smothered, and covered.
Right. I don't know. To me, firing Todd Grantham is not going to. It's not going to quell the storm from the Florida Gators faithful. And depending on how they play out the rest of this year. I mean, they're 4-5 right now. I mean, if they lose another game, he's definitely done. Because
there's nothing that he can do.
Left on their schedule, they got Samford, Missouri, and Florida State. You lose one of those games, yeah, you're done.
And they're not going to. But even if they did, you're not paying the buyout. The buyout, I want to say his buyout's like $30 million. You're not paying that.
Right.
Especially not to hire an inferior coach, which is exactly what you would get.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's so funny to me. And you know what? We got breaking news. Let's do weird news.
Okay.
We'll tie all these things together because there's something breaking that we need to talk about.
All right.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
I know you don't really get into space things, Jeremy, but I've always been intrigued by space travel. International Space Station, SpaceX, all that good stuff going on. The SpaceX crew is, by the way, as we speak, on their way back to back to the planet after being on the International Space Station for the last 6 months.
Oh, so you're telling a smart story?
No, it's not a smart story.
Oh, well, I'm hitting this anyway.
We got to recharge your Brave batteries.
They did have one big problem on the space station, though. There was one big problem that they discovered in September on the space station, that the toilet wasn't working properly. Yeah.
Oh,
so
no.
Apparently for a while, there had been human waste just leaking out under the floorboards of the space station.
No!
Because the tube that takes the urine and deposits it into, the tank or whatever, it had been leaking. And so they had to pull up the floorboards and realize there's this big mess of just, liquid underneath the floorboard. And then they went, oh, no. So you mean that I wonder if we have the same problem in the pod that we're going to have to take back to Earth. They did.
Oh,
they
no.
did. Now, here's the thing. It's not that bad. They left around 2 o'clock this afternoon. They'll be back on Earth by 10:30 tonight. That's the projected, 8.5 hour flight from the International Space Station back to Earth. They don't have a toilet that they can use, so all the astronauts are wearing diapers on their way back.
Oh.
Yeah, they got adult diapers. Now, here's the question. How much does a SpaceX space adult diaper cost? That's always the running joke with NASA things of how much things cost. A hammer costs $6 million. How much do you think they have to pay for adult diapers for the space crew? Thankfully, it's not that long of a trip. 8.5 hours. I mean, even I can hold it for 8.5 hours. And that...
Not true. That's fake
I
news. That's fake news. That is fake news to the highest extreme. I have seen you go running out of this studio after an hour like you were on fire.
Sometimes. But if I'm on the road and I've got a destination, I can hold it for a long time. Don't need the adult diaper. Hopefully they're going to get the toilet thing fixed, though.
We often in this space say, don't do crimes.
Don't do crimes.
I don't know that there were crimes here. I just feel like there had to be.
Okay.
The Syracuse Fire Department responded to a very strange call in Syracuse, New York. This was at the Landmark Theater in Syracuse. Firefighters in upstate New York on Friday rescued a man who was stuck for several days inside the bathroom wall of a theater.
Inside the wall?
Inside the wall. The adult male, who was not immediately identified, was believed to have entered the theater 2 or 3 days ago.
Trespassing, crime.
Maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
But he was in the bathroom wall. There is also one other thing that I didn't mention. He was completely nude.
Crime. That's a crime.
I don't, but why? How in the world do you end up in the wall of a theater completely nude?
I'm not. What kind of theater was this? Was this like a Pee Wee Herman theater?
No, not like that.
Oh, okay.
No, this is a.
It's like a Broadway theater.
Yeah, this is like a performing arts theater. And they found him in the wall because they heard him banging. Apparently, people came into the theater and they heard banging on the wall.
Yeah.
And they figured out, there's somebody in the wall. So firefighters drilled a hole. They ran a camera through there to figure out exactly where he was. And when they fed the camera through there was something on the other side that did. Hi.
I think I've seen this video before.
Yeah, I don't know how you do this or why. Why is it that every one of these stories always has that addendum of, and they were nude? Stop doing weird things naked. Don't do crimes anyway, but certainly don't do naked crimes.
I mean, look, I was just going through the ventilation system, and it got hot in there, so I had to take my clothes off.
I would just love to hear the explanation.
And then the duct broke.
So I wanted to break into the theater, and I wanted to know the best way to not get arrested. Nobody wants to fight the naked guy. There's my thing. There it is. I'll do it since you won't.
Stephen Tout, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you, Stephen.
Oh, yeah. Just, the comments on YouTube get aggressive.
Oh, that's
sometimes.
funny.
Somebody asked, was this in Florida? No, it was actually in New York. Although I do find it funny that every time we tell a weird story, it's either in New York, Florida, Texas, or California.
Yeah, pretty much.
You never get one of these weird stories in Madison, Wisconsin, Fargo, North Dakota.
Yeah, all of you flyover states, you're going to have to start picking up your game here.
I mean,
we need weird news from the flyover states.
Well, I mean, we know you do weird things. Okay,
yeah,
I spent enough time in West Virginia. I can tell you get bored. So they're crimes. I feel very sure of it.
Mm-hmm.
Nude man in the wall.
Interesting. Wow. Anyway, it was a weird week in the NFL. We had strange things happen.
By the way, I want to reference that's the second Pee Wee Herman reference we've made today.
It was. You do that so well.
I do. Which is funny because I've never seen that show.
9 teams, barring a disaster tonight for the Pittsburgh Steelers, there will be 9 teams in the AFC that have 5 wins. So, question to you, Jeremy, we'll talk about here is, what's your confidence score for the 5-win teams in the AFC as far as it goes to making the playoffs? The Los Angeles Chargers. We'll start with the obvious ones, I think. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10,
with 1 being a gas station hot dog.
Yes.
And 10 being that crawfish are absolutely disgusting. That's my confidence scale.
That's a weird scale.
That's a weird scale, and it's fine. That's what we do here, weird scales.
I would say my confidence score in the Los Angeles Chargers making the playoffs is somewhere around an 8.5.
I will give them a solid 4.
A 4?
A 4.
You think there's a great chance they don't make the playoffs?
I do. I do, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
It is entirely too easy to run on them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally, Philadelphia was just trying. Philadelphia did the football equivalent to the 4 corners offense. We're just going to run 4 yards at a time every time we touch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Their pass to run breakdown was like 8. I think they threw the ball 18 times, and they ran like 45 times because the Chargers had nothing. They couldn't stop them for anything, and they knew what they were going to do on every play.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I look at it and go, I'm starting to figure out how to beat you is just to keep the ball away from Justin Herbert. And that's what Philadelphia did wrong.
Well, that's really concerning when you think about their next 4 games. They got to face Dalvin Cook, Najee Harris, Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon, and Joe Mixon.
And that's why. That's what scares me is that you play a ton of teams that are really good at running the football, and you can't stop a bad team.
Yeah.
You couldn't stop a team that is terrible.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I watched a ton of that game yesterday. They should have lost. If Justin Herbert hadn't gotten the ball to end this game and Philadelphia continued that drive with 2 boneheaded plays, they'd have gotten the ball back with a chance to drive down, kick, field goal, and win the game. You cannot lose to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah. I am very confident in the Los Angeles Chargers. I think Justin Herbert is that good.
He is
that he is
good.
going
There's
to
no
be able
doubt
to
he's
keep,
that good.
and they're not going to lose all of these games because they're bad against the run. They will, even if they split the next few games on the backside of that schedule. I mean, you've still got the Giants and the Chiefs and teams that you can beat,
and that's all well and good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you bring teams in to be competitive that shouldn't be. That's the one thing that a good team can't be terrible at, and the Chargers are terrible at it. Is Justin Herbert and that offense good enough? Yes. It's unsettling to me that defense is that bad.
Right now, the Los Angeles Chargers would be the 3 seed in the AFC. The 4 seed would belong to the Buffalo Bills.
What are you asking for my confidence rating on the Buffalo
confidence
Bills?
rating on the Buffalo Bills, 1 to 10.
Oh, let's see. On a scale of 1 to 10, my confidence rating would be a 706. 2,114. Because they're going to win that division because every other team in that division is bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's not a whole lot there. I mean, they just lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, but again, that's a burn the tape and move on. They've got the Jets, the Colts, the Saints, the Patriots.
Well, they get the Jets twice. Yeah, that's 2 fun wins.
Oh, yeah. They've got 1 really tough matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got 2 against the Patriots, 2 against the Jets. They got the Panthers thrown in there, the Falcons. Yeah, they're solid. No way they're not making the playoffs.
$11 billion.
The 5 seed right now would be the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm going to say my number's going to be markedly higher than yours.
Yeah, no doubt.
Scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being absolutely no shot they make it, 10 being absolute positive certainty, I will say 7.5.
Believe in them more than the Chargers, do you?
Schedule, and at the end of the day, you have gotten rid of the Damon Arnett thing. There is a role there. The Raiders are just making it very clear we're not putting up with anything, and I do believe in the Raiders. I think yesterday was a blip. West Coast team coming east playing at 1 o'clock. We didn't even mention that, which was an error in judgment on our part.
Right. 6.5. I think I'm at a 6.5 confidence score.
You're close to me.
Yeah. I mean, this is still a good team. I still believe that they have the pieces to be able to win football games. The problem is, and I said this last week, I still think it's partially fool's gold.
I don't. I believe in that team.
And then they, and then they end up
Deshaun
losing.
Jackson gives them that Henry Ruggs element back. It changes a lot. I'm very high on the Raiders. I think they're a playoff team.
6 seed right now would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Your 1 to 10 confidence score that they make the playoffs.
I am going to play as Switzerland here as I can and go 5.
Oh, just right smack dab in the middle.
The defense is really good. My fear is that when we get into the cold and get into the grinded out games, and I don't have any fear of your quarterback whatsoever. I'm afraid that teams are going to stack the box against Najee Harris, and it will be rough sledding for them to score.
See, I look at their schedule, and I'm more concerned about their schedule than I am any of the teams that we've mentioned already.
That's the other part of this. Their schedule is brutal.
I mean, they got the Bears tonight, and then they got the Lions. But then you go at the Chargers, at the Bengals, Ravens, at the Vikings, not going to be easy. The Tennessee Titans have already proved that they can still, carry water without Derrick Henry. You go at the Chiefs, which is going to be tough. And you got the Browns and at the Ravens. That's aggressive. That's a tough schedule going down the stretch here. I would put my confidence score on them. I'm going to go 4.5. I'm going to go just below you. And then you got the New England Patriots.
What's less than 0?
Less than 0? So you think there is a 0.5 confidence score?
You have 4 wins. 2 of them are against the Jets. 1 of them's against the Texans, and 1 of them's against the Panthers. You know what all 4 of those wins have in common? They don't mean squat to me. I think they are the best of the mediocre. Can they make the playoffs? Sure. I don't like your chances because there's so many good teams in this tier. So with New England, I'll say 1.5.
What did we say the mark was going to be to make the playoffs this year? 9-8. All right, they're already at 5-4, and they have the Falcons coming up. They have the Jaguars and the Dolphins. So that's 8.
Well, they've already lost to the Dolphins.
So now all I have to do as the New England Patriots is beat one of these teams. I got to beat the Browns, the Titans, the Bills, the Colts. That's the one I'm looking at. And then the Bills. Again.
I don't like the chances of them beating any of those teams. I don't like the chances of them beating any of those teams, and I think you're chalking up the Dolphins and the Falcons way too easily. They've already lost to the Dolphins once. I don't think people understand just how mediocre this offense is. It is the definition of average.
I do understand that, but I'm markedly higher on this one. I'm going 4.8.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like this team. I don't think this team can beat even average teams.
Now, will they get dusted when they get in the playoffs? Yes.
100%.
But I think there is enough on that schedule for them to go, you know what, we can make the playoffs. Did you say you had breaking news?
I do.
Who's gonna break the news?
Ha!
Who's gonna break the news?
Yeah.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
We have talked. We were talking about Dan Mullen and potential firings in college football. Nebraska coach Scott Frost
fired.
Will be back for 2022 with a restructured contract.
That team has played better in the last part of the season. They have been much better.
I tried to tell you weeks ago. Scott Frost is going nowhere.
You did. And I didn't believe that it was going to continue, but the fact that they have stayed competitive in every game that they played, it makes sense. It makes total sense. Scott Frost will be back for next year. All right. Kansas City Chiefs. Confidence score on whether or not the Kansas City Chiefs make the playoffs. They are one of these 5-win teams in the AFC. They're 5-4. The offense is awful. They just barely escaped against Jordan Love.
0. I don't think this is a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
That defense is historically bad.
Yep.
Historically bad. They are brutal.
I'm going -2.5. That's my confidence score in the Kansas City Chiefs. If they were going to flip the switch, if it's possible, I think they'd have done it already. I don't have any faith that they can turn it around. Now, should they come out and beat the Raiders this week? Okay, we'll talk. You'll start jumping up that confidence scale again. However, in the meantime, it doesn't look like you're turning anything around, and you were 2 botched field goals away from Green Bay being smack dab in the middle of this game and having a chance to win at the end with probably the worst rookie quarterback I've seen in a while.
And he's not even a rookie. He's a second-year quarterback who's just
We're going baseball rules.
Bad.
I'm going baseball rules on that one. He's a rookie.
Well, it's not baseball, so that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
He didn't get enough plate appearances last year. He still counts as a rookie in my book. Cleveland Browns, 5-4. Confidence score for them to make the playoffs behind that running game.
I'm going the same spot I went with Pittsburgh Steelers. It's 5 because I just don't know what they are.
Mm-hmm.
I know, yes, with the momentum of, getting rid of Odell Beckham, whatever, you were good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that that's who you are. And I don't think that's who you are, to be really honest with you.
I'm at a 2.5 for Cleveland. The schedule's just too tough. I mean, you got to go to the Patriots, and then you get the the Detroit Lions. Then you got back-to-back games with a bye week in the middle between the Baltimore Ravens. You got the Raiders, the Packers, the Steelers, and the Bengals to finish off the season. I don't know that this is more than a 7-win team.
And that's kind of where I'm at.
Had such high hopes for him at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, me too.
But not so much.
Oh, wait.
Cincinnati Bengals, 5-4. Confidence score is what, Jeremy?
It's slightly higher for the Bengals than it is for the Browns and the Steelers, so I'll say a 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
Schedule is markedly easier than it looked long ago.
I'm not sure about markedly easier.
It's markedly easier. We thought this was one of the hardest schedules in the league. It's not.
Yeah, this is true. This is very true. However, I'm going to go 3.5. I'm going to go 3.5 for the Cincinnati Bengals. I still feel like there's some fool's gold left in there, and I don't see a whole lot of wins, or at least no doubt wins left on your schedule, especially after you just laid an egg against the Jets and the that other team that they just lost to, the Cleveland Browns, back-to-back. Thank you. And then the last 5-4 team, the Denver Broncos.
0.00. Cool, you beat the Cowboys. Would you like a cookie or a star? I can give you a star because you beat the Cowboys.
Yep.
Other than that, you're not very good.
No, they're not. And, the winning on the road at the Dallas Cowboys, it's a great win.
That's a tremendous win. Good for you.
It's a really great win. And you know what? You might be able to pick up a game against the Lions coming down the stretch. Maybe the Eagles. But that's going to be your high watermark for wins. It's ESPN Asheville. It's the Sportsocracy. And Jeremy, he's a little fired up. We got an I'm Mad coming next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Ozone Drive and the US 25 connector due to construction. 26 westbound then slow between Airport Road and Long Shoals Road. Near Waynesville, 40 westbound, very busy stop-and-go volume between Fines Creek Road and Harmondin Road. Sweden Creek Road southbound after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road delays. Hendersonville Road moving problem-free. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
From the DuckDuckGo for Privacy Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Range Urgent Care.
Range Urgent Care is now hiring paramedics, medical assistants, and hospitality coordinators to join their growing team. Range Urgent Care offers a great work environment, competitive wages, and full benefits including health insurance, 401k matching, and paid time off. Learn more at rangeurgentcare.com/careers and apply today.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. St. Nicholas and my family, they'll all be here.
The holidays are coming, and so are the guests. Are you sure your home's ready? Let Over the Moon Cleaning Services do the heavy lifting for you. Right now, Over the Moon is offering Sportsocracy listeners 20% off a deep clean when you schedule bi-weekly or weekly cleanings. Call them today at 585-0146 and book a free estimate. 585-0146. Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville. Pernicious, adjective, having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Now, Wicked Weed's flagship IPA, winner of a silver medal at the U.S. Open Beer Championships, isn't harmful unless you're a competing IPA. Brewed in the mountains of Western North Carolina, Pernicious IPA will destroy your expectations for all others in its class. Pernicious IPA inspires you to enjoy fresh and often. Order up at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed, the official craft beer of the Asheville Championship. Drink different, drink responsibly.
Dirty Turkish sharks are back flat.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Sharks are back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
We pride ourselves on this show of not talking politics, and that's not going to change, but something happened earlier today that I just had to say. State Farm has put out a statement about Aaron Rodgers and his comments about his vaccination status and all those other things. Aaron Rodgers has been a great ambassador for our company for much of the past decade. We don't support some of the statements that he has made, but we respect his right to have his own personal view. We recognize our customers, employees, agents, and brand ambassadors come from all walks of life with differing viewpoints on many issues. Our mission at State Farm is to support safer, stronger communities. To that end, we encourage vaccinations but respect everyone's right to make a choice based on their personal circumstances. Never in the history of ever did I think in 2021 that an insurance company would have to say the most logical thing I've heard in 4 solid days about this. And you know what it led to? A slew of blue check marks on Twitter going, State Farm's not a good neighbor. Why is this so hard for people to understand? Aaron Rodgers has trended for 4 straight days. I don't know why this is so hard for you to understand, but it's the way it is. This is how the world works. You have the right to make decisions. Those decisions have repercussions. And State Farm could have come out and said, well, no, we're just not going to endorse him anymore. But they didn't. And I salute them for that, because this is somebody that has done a lot of things for your company, done a lot of good for your company, and I support you for supporting him. I didn't even have to hit the Howard Dean button that time.
It's been so insane. By the way, Glenn Hopper, welcome into the House of Reprehensibles.
I'm your huckleberry.
Come on and join our membership group on the YouTube stream, youtube.com/thesportsocracy, or just go to thesportsocracy.com. See all of our live videos there. You can link to the actual live stream in the chat box, all of that. Join the little group, the little membership group, and yeah.
This has been one of the most fun days we've had.
It has been.
I swear to you, this show has become like a great big group of people just hanging out at a bar talking about sports, which is exactly what we wanted this show to be when we started.
Yep, and I'm I'm so proud that after we have been getting all the votes in the latest poll on the YouTube chat, at least there are some more level-headed people who, yes, do wash their clothes after they buy them in the store before you put them on your body. You just don't ever know what kind of bacteria is on those things.
You eat gas station hot dogs, case closed. Lawyered.
I mean, it's still 3-1. It's still 3-1. Most people think we're crazy, but
they don't call us the House of Reprehensibles for nothing.
Yeah, y'all nasty. Anyway, we will be back with you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for the Sportsocracy back here on ESPN Asheville tomorrow at 3.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, uphill climb to the temperature forecast for the Carolinas this week. After a cool and wet stretch of weather late last week and into the weekend, things have really brightened up here. We do drop into the mid-30s tonight. That's about our average low this time of year here in Asheville. Sunshine Tuesday, mid-70s. Sunshine Wednesday, a high of 71. And then rain showers Thursday with high of 57 degrees. We do cool again for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by T.P. Howard Plumbing.
Hey, this is Josh Howard of T.P. Howard's Plumbing. There's nothing worse than a plumbing emergency. We can take care of any commercial or residential sewer, any commercial or residential water heater, and all of your plumbing emergencies. Call T.P. Howard's Plumbing at 628-1369. That's 628-1369.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Ozone Drive and the US 25 connector due to construction. 26 westbound then slow between Airport Road and Long Shoals Road. Near Waynesville, 40 westbound, very busy stop-and-go volume between Fines Creek Road and Harmondin Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. Delays. Hendersonville Road moving problem-free. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
From the DuckDuckGo for Privacy Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Mucinex 12-Hour. Mucinex Extended Release Bilayer tablets allow for immediate and extended release, relieving chest congestion for 12 hours. Plus, Mucinex is eligible for any leftover HSA, FSA funds. Look for Mucinex, the #1 OTC brand doctors trust. Available at Target.
Radio advertising can connect your business with holiday shoppers wherever they go. Use iHeart Ad Builder to create an affordable custom radio ad right on your phone. Just click, listen, approve, then hear it on the radio. Create your customized ad today at iHeartAdBuilder.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville. WPEK, W225, CJ Fairview, WMXF, Waynesville.
The Atlanta Braves are